Hello and welcome to Forever Cricket on Forever Sport, and we are less than a day away from the second test between the Proteas and the West Indies. And some big news: we do have team news, which in itself is quite interesting because for the first time potentially ever, the Proteas have named their side for the second test ahead of time. Play will get underway tomorrow at the Wanderers, and a very interesting selection coming from Shukri Conrad, and very sort of indicative of the type of pitch that the Wanderers has become of late, with the Proteas actually going with two spinners, two frontline spinners rather, which is you don't often see within the sort of any sort of test match at the Wanderers. But yeah, so it does make for some very interesting reasons. So coming up in the show, we'll be talking mostly about the Proteas and their game against the West Indies tomorrow. We're going to be talking a little bit about the squads that were announced yesterday and some of the omissions that were made, as well as an update on Faf du Plessis in terms of his international future, where there is an international future still left for the former captain. We'll also give you a bit of a wrap up on what's going on in the various four-day series games that are currently taking place. The Lions at the moment putting Boland under the pump a bit. The Rocks down there. Warriors going steady against the Titans, where there hasn't been much play there, and Dolphins already having cleaned up against the Northwest, who we were absolutely dominated. So plenty to talk about, and I'd like to know. So let's get into it. Let's get stuck into it. So first of all, I'm going to put a poll in the comments, and it is: would you have played two spinners at Wanderers? Yes or no? So I want you to answer that, and then we're going to get going. Right, we do. Yeah, so first of all, Shukri Conrad addressed the media this morning, and in his press conference actually announced the match, or the squad that will be taking to the field tomorrow morning. A very interesting squad. 4 changes being made. Now, we knew that one change being made because Anut Nokia has been released from the squad following a slight groin injury, and as a precaution, they have withdrawn him so that we don't risk any further injury. He has also been left out of the ODI squad and will be returning for the T20s at the back end of the West Indies tour. So, in terms of the team that will take to the field tomorrow, here it is. Right, so the 4 changes are Marco Jansen, Seno Mutasami, and Keegan Peterson have all dropped out, along with Anurag Nokia, and they have been replaced by Ryan Rickelton, Vian Mulder, Kesha Maharaj, and Simon Harmer. And so it's a very changed bowling attack, whilst just the solitary frontline batting change, and the addition of 2 all-rounders really, or one batting all-rounder in the likes of Vian Mulder. So it's an interesting side. So Dean Alga, Aiden Markham, we once again have top Tony Dazorzi at 3, Taylor Vuma, the captain, at 4. However, Ryan Rickelton will be set to come in at 5, Heinrich Klaassen coming in at 6. So Ryan Rickelton, a direct swap for Keegan Peterson, and much probably more comfortable where he is than maybe Keegan Peterson was. Keegan Peterson, a very much top order batsman, used to coming in against the new ball, and sort of weathering a storm and sort of taking his time and stuff. Whereas, at number 5, you're sort of supposed to be more of a bit of a stroke player, more sort of counter-punching, really. The likes of sort of 5 and 6, those are kind of their main roles. And so Ryan Rickelton, I think, is somebody who is quite an aggressive batsman. He's a positive player. He likes to go out and he likes to play his shots. And he's got a superb conversion rate. Does sort of bat throughout the order, really, for the Lions. Often sees him coming in at 3. When he does play for the Lions and stuff like that, and keeps wicket, a very fit individual. But I think he'll suit that number 5 position very well. And if you look at his stats, his first-class career stats are incredibly impressive. He's played 46 matches, he's batted 79 times, scoring 14 50s and 1500s. So his conversion rate is absolutely mental. He's got a high score of 202, an average of 54.87. This is across both South African domestic cricket as well as county cricket, where he went for a bit of a stint and did very well. So he's very much a premier batsman, and this is what's interesting because he is a wicketkeeper by trade, but he's been selected as a frontline batsman, and is playing there as a frontline batsman. And I think it's a very good decision. In terms of other players, Van Mulder coming in is quite an interesting one. He's going to play the role of a third seam. We've only got 2 frontline seamers, which sounds absolutely bizarre going into the Wanderers or test at the Wanderers. However, recently the Wanderers have not necessarily been that pitch hasn't necessarily been a typical Wanderers track. We have seen spinners getting a lot of purchase there throughout the SA20. We saw spinners. Aaron Frangiso was cleaning up there before his ban. I think Shana, for example, when he came in as well for the Joburg Super Kings, was really at home in the Wanderers track. We saw some very impressive performances like Grant Willis and Rudolf van der Merwe. And then recently, we've seen Simon Harmer pick up a lot of sticks there, as well as